Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Out of the Way, I will be discussing my thoughts on the potential of a vintage collection Rancor. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, be sure to drop a like down below, remember to subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell to stay notified. Upcoming videos will feature similar discussions, diorama builds, and more from the vintage collection, so stay tuned. Large creatures, such as the Rancor, have been a crucial world-building component over the years, and luckily enough we have been able to receive them. As some of you may know, Hasbro is currently pushing a Black Series 6-inch scale Rancor for their most recent HasLab project, which does not seem to be doing very well. In my personal opinion, the project does not offer anything new or captivating for such a premium price. More importantly, my heart remains with the vintage collection, and I truly feel that it is the scale that world building should only exist in. World building in the heritage scale allows collectors to create intricate dioramas and display large vehicles and beasts with greater ease, making it such a fun scale to collect. With less than a week remaining in the HasLab campaign, I wanted to ponder the idea of bringing the Rancor to the vintage collection instead. The demand for new creatures since the first season of The Mandalorian has been overwhelming, yet there's been no action on Hasbro's part to supply collectors with the Blurrg or Mudhorn. While both of these items would require new tooling and production expenses, I do think they would sell well. The most recent 3.75 Rancor offering is an excellent beast and worthy of vintage-style packaging. Therefore, Hasbro should use their existing assets to help fill the creature void. Furthermore, the inclusion of a pack-in figure, namely Malakili, better known as the Rancor Keeper, could help Hasbro finish off another character from the original 96. These two items already exist from the Legacy Collection days and could easily be brought into the vintage collection. Additionally, if the inclusion of an extra point of articulation could be added to the elbow, this Rancor could truly be considered definitive. Here we have the two Rancors that were previously released in the 30th anniversary and Legacy Collection lines. The 2007 Felucian Battle Rancor and standard Return of the Jedi Jabba's Rancor are impressive display pieces for any collection. Later in 2014, the Return of the Jedi Rancor was offered again in the 3.75 Black Series line as part of a set, and today it commands a premium price on the secondary market. These iconic beasts are wonderful offerings that any new collector will want in their collection. The 30th anniversary Battle Rancor is one of my personal favorites and included a Felucian rider as the pack-in figure. The character is wonderfully sculpted and has lots of detail throughout. The soft plastic garments allow for a good range of motion, and the figure is well articulated, allowing it to mount the saddle of the Rancor in both a seated and upright position. This unique figure is really top-notch and holds up very well to today's standards. The Return of the Jedi Rancor included a Luke Skywalker pack-in, and while this figure was good for its time, it's been replaced by a far superior version of the character, with better articulation and detail. That vintage collection Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight is a must-have. Also included with this release was the iconic bone that Luke uses during his battle with the Rancor, which is a neat accessory and essential for recreating that scene. If Hasbro decides to bring the Rancor to the vintage collection, Malakili would be the obvious choice for a pack-in figure. As part of the original 96, this character needs to be released in the vintage collection, and its inclusion could help a modern-day Rancor release. Hasbro could even explore the potential of a variant card back for the character, released in the main line or possibly as an exclusive, allowing collectors to have both a loose and carded sample for their collection. The figure from the Legacy Collection is as good as it gets and would be a simple but brilliant repack for the vintage collection. The only update I could see would be the inclusion of softer plastic on the headpiece, allowing for a wider range of motion in the arms. The rest of the figure is full of articulation and wonderfully sculpted. Adding this figure to the vintage collection would be an easy win for both collectors and Hasbro. Taking a closer look at the Rancors, you can see how superbly well these creatures were crafted. The Felucian Battle Rancor includes a removable saddle with reins that is attached to a soft plastic harness, allowing you to remove it if you choose to do so. The most notable feature is the paint deco that helps distinguish this Rancor from the others. As you can see, the purple stripes contrast well with the lighter shades of brown used for the body. Both hands use rigid plastic for the sculpting instead of the softer alternative seen on the Jabba's Rancor. The Return of the Jedi counterpart is equally as impressive and detailed throughout. The tiny earring is included on this release and adds a nice touch. The bracelets are well crafted with excellent weathering and have chains attached to them as seen in the films. They use clips to snap into place, allowing you to remove them from the Rancor's wrist, which is always a nice feature. The shoulders and back have some impressive sculpting and texture that really capture the ferocity of this Star Wars character, and those same details can be found throughout this towering figure. While these heritage scale Rancors are large additions to any collection, they are also easily manageable. I'm able to display each one in a 13x13 cube section of my shelf. When it comes to articulation, the Rancor offers much of what a collector will need for display. The arms have a swivel with ball joint and split just beneath the shoulder, giving it an excellent range of motion. A swivel at the hip allows the legs to move back and forth, while ball jointed ankles allow you to move the feet in different positions. The wrists also have a swivel joint, and the right hand is made of a soft plastic and wireframe inside, allowing you to create an open or closed fist, a really nice feature that adds variety to your display. The jaw opens and closes nicely and is deep enough to fit most of your Gamorrean guard inside. The head is also articulated with a swivel at the neck for different poses, and the left hand is sculpted in a nice claw that will hold your figure in place. While this Rancor can do much of what it needs to do, a reasonable update could be adding a ball joint to the elbow, allowing the Rancor to lift its meal up for one last bite. I really think this could be an excellent update to an iconic Star Wars character. The added articulation to the Rancor, combined with some vintage style packaging and marking off another member of the original 96, could be an easy reintroduction for Beast in the vintage collection, hopefully lending support for future releases such as the Mudhorn and Blurg. I hope you've enjoyed this video and would also welcome the addition of the Rancor to the vintage collection. Please feel free to leave your opinions and suggestions in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the current Rancor HasLab project? Would you prefer to see a more affordable option in the heritage scale instead? Do you think Hasbro should focus on releasing more creatures in the vintage collection? I'd love to hear about it. And don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.